Alrighty, guys. Good morning to you all here. A happy Friday, May 2nd, 2025. We are now still officially 29 days from the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. I mentioned that yesterday in the video. We're going to start that countdown here. Not that it's a good thing, but I'm trying to get people prepared and ready to go. That way, you guys know we can have hurricanes as soon as June 1st. And actually, we can have tropical storms and hurricanes before June 1st. It is known in recent history that can happen. So, good news is we don't have any of that ongoing today. We don't have anything forecasted. We're not looking at anything on any model runs for that, but I just want to keep you guys updated on that, get you guys in the mindset of that as always. We'll be covering that in full length once hurricane season officially gets here. We do have a pretty big area for severe weather today. The Storm Prediction Center going very, very bullish today with our upgraded risk zones. I mentioned to you guys yesterday, I didn't expect too much other than some damaging winds and some hail today and a couple tornadoes, and that's exactly what we're going to see today. We do now have a huge level 3 enhanced risk from central and eastern Kentucky back down through Nashville, Tennessee, outside of Memphis there, northwestern Georgia, northern portions of Mississippi, central and northern portions of Alabama there, going down into southern Arkansas, northern and central Louisiana, and into Texas. So a huge area today, widespread risk zone today. And then we've got a slight risk and a marginal risk that goes all the way up into Boston, Massachusetts, back down into Mobile, Alabama there, southern Florida, and into portions of West Texas here. So pretty big area today. I will let you guys note, though, we'll be in standby for live coverage mode today. This is going to be an isolated to scattered damaging wind event today. So meaning mostly today will be large hail and damaging winds. If we need to get on live stream later on this afternoon, we will. We are getting storms here this morning, so I'm going to have to wait for those to go through. As always, we are under the gun here this morning for severe weather risk. So once that passes through, if we need to get on live stream, we will. If you guys don't see me, we'll be on probably later on tonight, though. I will mention as well, if we don't get on tonight, it's due to the fact I have to be up super, super early in the morning tomorrow. I have a huge race tomorrow that I'm running, so I'll be doing that. But if we don't get on today, it'll be tomorrow when we get back on, though. But other than that, guys, we'll go ahead and start with what we're seeing here on radar this morning. Got a complex of storms here. We've got an upper level low up here into portions of the northern high plains, and this is going to continue to spin. We're actually going to see this low exist for a long time over the United States here. This is really going to be just stationary for the next couple of days here. We do have, like I said, a complex of storms moving through Arkansas, southern Missouri, another complex in front of this here that's already producing some damaging winds this morning and a lot of rain left over from last night's storms that are now moving through. So there is basically going to be a boundary that's going to be in place here. And as storms progress through the day here, we're going to see instability values increase. We're going to see some shear aloft and at the lower levels increase. And these storms should start to break out to become more widespread. We should see a pretty big aerial coverage of storms today. We've actually got a couple storms over here in western North Carolina as well that are ongoing. So lots of storms ongoing today. We're going to break down the Storm Prediction Center forecast for today, for tomorrow. We've really got a new storm prediction forecast for Monday. Finally, the Storm Prediction Center highlighting something for the day 4 outlook. So we're going to talk about all that today. As always, guys, if you will leave a like on this video, comment if you guys have any questions. I'll try and get to those as always, and we'll hopefully have a live stream later on for you guys this afternoon if we need to be on. We'll go ahead and start out, like I said, with today here. We'll talk about the Storm Prediction Center's websites. Pull that up here. We already got a couple watches that'll be possible. The Storm Prediction Center very, very active this morning, so I expect severe thunderstorm warnings to be, or watches to be issued here very soon. Once again, here's our risk zone for today. Huge marginal risk that goes all the way up here into the northeast, back down here into the Carolinas, into the southeast. This is probably one of our biggest risk zones we've had in quite some time. Huge, huge, huge risk zone for today for damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes. Now, the tornado threat for today, as of right now, it is very, very low. There is a 2% chance in that green shaded risk zone. This goes from basically just outside Cincinnati, Ohio, back through central Kentucky, down to the southeast and into Texas here. I will mention, if you are outside that 2% risk zone and you're in a marginal or slight risk zone or an enhanced risk, there is not a 0% chance of a tornado. It's less than 2%. There's not a highlighted risk zone that the Storm Protection Center can issue. So there is a less than 2%, but not 0% tornado risk outside of this here for any other risk zones that are not officially highlighted. We do have a damaging wind threat today, and that's going to be the biggest threat. 30% there in the red, 15% in the yellow, 5% in the maroon. That's for winds up to 70 miles per hour. And we do have a hatched hail risk for today. We are expecting huge hail once again back down here into Texas. We saw a PDS tornado warning yesterday in central Texas near the Killeen Waco area. Produced some 5-inch hail once again yesterday. The threat for large hail up to 3+ inches in diameter will be possible. San Antonio, Austin, Waco, Killeen, back into south central Texas here and into just outside of the Houston metro area there. Outside of that hatched risk zone, we do have a 15 and 5% chance for seeing hail up to 1 to 2 inches in diameter. So that's what we're going to be looking at for today. I'll get to the timing on today here again in just a second as well. Tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has a lower end risk zone. I wouldn't be shocked to see a slight risk be issued somewhere here in the middle or along the coastline here, but damaging winds and hail will be the possibility for tomorrow. Not a 2% tornado risk as of right now. It's less than 2%, but not 0, so do be mindful of that as well. Damaging wind threat here at 5%, a hail threat at 5%, and we do also have a little tiny hail percent down here into Brownsville and south of Corpus Christi for tomorrow as well. So tomorrow, this front will officially kick its way out of here. We get to day 3. We have another another risk zone. Once again, still watching the system off the coastline here. Damaging winds, hail, and maybe a brief spin-up tornado on the southeast coastline there for your Sunday forecast. Savannah, Charleston, Columbia, and Wilmington, North Carolina being at that. General thunderstorms in between. You can notice we don't have a lot of thunderstorms in the middle of this map here as well, and that's going to be due to a high pressure that's going to be ongoing. We're going to have a low here and a low here. We're going to have an omega block pattern that's technically going to be here. It's not something we typically see until the summertime, but we will have this possibility here for a heat dome to build kind of in the plains before another trough comes in on Monday. And here we go. The storm predictions that are highlighting a risk zone for Monday, a day 4 outlook here for them themselves. We've got Lubbock, Midland, Abilene. It's basically the same areas here that have been seeing damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes really over the last week. We're going to continue to see another trough move in here, and I expect 3 or 4, maybe 5 days in a row of hail damaging winds and coupled tornadoes will be possible throughout this region here. I wouldn't be shocked to see that expanded out a little bit more over the next couple of days. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. Have a way to get alerts on your phones. Be weather aware. Have your NOAA weather radios charged up, and just know where to go when you get a tornado warning or anything out of the blue crazy. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Here's kind of an idea of what we're going to see today. Showers and thunderstorms already ongoing this morning here. You're going to see a brief window here of quietness in the southern plains here in at least southern Texas, and then storms are going to initiate right around 2 o'clock. You can see widespread convection ongoing, and a lot of this does not look super organized, and so some of these storms are going to pack their own damaging wind threat. Some will pack their large hail threat. Some of these, if they become surface-based, could produce a brief tornado, but really just not a lot of organization. So that's why the risk zone is so widespread, just due to any of these storms being able to produce winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. That does meet that 30% enhanced risk criteria there, or slight risk or marginal. So a couple of these storms could become surface-based, produce some large hail, some damaging winds later on this evening, and then by the time midnight gets here through the overnight hours, that complex of storms moves out. We'll go to the Ohio Valley here, take a look at you guys over here in the Arctic, the Ohio River Valley. Complex of storms moving through. Now, some of the models last night were a little bit more bullish with this. They've got this line of storms intensifying maybe into an MCS, mesoscale convective scale system, potentially producing a couple of tornadoes embedded within that. We're going to have to watch out and run around Memphis, Nashville this morning here, already ongoing. So that complex of storms will continue to intensify and work its way up into the Ohio Valley. We should see this pretty much done and out of here by midnight tonight. Still seeing that upper level low sitting up here, so showers and thunderstorms will be ongoing through the overnight hours across Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky through tomorrow morning, and then that system will eventually clear out for you guys there. The Northeast, just be mindful, damaging winds and hail up there. Pennsylvania all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts. We could see some showers and some storms overnight for you guys tonight. Maybe some daytime driven supercells potentially here. Mini supercells is what I like to call these. Just be mindful of that. We'll take a look down here in the southeast as well here, give you guys an update on what's going to happen down here. And you can see, once again, showers and thunderstorms, widespread convection through this afternoon, through this evening, through the overnight hours, and even through tomorrow morning. Maybe seeing a little complex of storms moving through before this thing is done and out of here. And then we'll have a couple more days of storms on Sunday and Monday. So like I said, not really looking at anything too organized, I should say. Just a lot of convection all over the board. SPC is going to see that. They're going to go damaging winds with it every time. They're going to go hail with it every time. There might be a brief tornado risk, but these don't really produce significant tornado outbreaks. These produce more damaging winds and large hail. So just something to be mindful of if you're in and around those risk zones, which is a lot of people today. So, and really through the next couple of days. Let's talk about our model runs here. Just kind of give you guys an update on what we're going to be seeing. Here's the troughing that's responsible for what's going to be happening here. Really two different pieces of energy. We've got the surface low that's moving in here with an upper level trough attached to it as well, giving us bulk shear in the atmosphere. You can see this system also coming down here out of Canada. This is going to really provide enough instability, enough shear in place for storms to initiate. You can see that moves through today, through tomorrow. I want you guys to pay attention to something. This is what we call an omega block pattern. It looks like the omega block symbol. Low pressure system on left side, low pressure system on right side. And this can basically keep both low pressure systems kind of intertwined, kind of wobbling around each other. This is not something we typically see until we get closer to like June and July, which we're not far from that. So just be mindful of that. But high pressure system will dominate in the plains on Sunday here, Saturday into Sunday. Storms and conditions for severe weather will be on the southeast. We'll have that over here into the west coast as well. As we go into the week here of next week, Monday and Tuesday, we start to see that ridge break down, and we really just got two bowling ball troughs just basically overlapping each other, rotating around each other here. And that's going to give us the storminess continuing to see through much of next week in the Ohio Valley, just cloudy, dreary, rainy conditions. And then we will have more of an organized severe weather threat that's going to develop over here with this more significant trough for the West Pacific and into the southern plains and into the middle portions of Texas, Oklahoma here, and into portions of eastern New Mexico going into Monday, going into Tuesday, going into Wednesday. That troughing still kind of sitting in place there, going through at least Thursday and Friday. Eventually it moves out of here by Friday into Saturday. So I do expect, once again, a pretty active week for showers, thunderstorms, and conditional severe weather risk zones. And then going into next weekend, that low pressure system still tries to sit there, maybe bring in some rainfall off the coast of Florida, maybe into the deep south there on Sunday of the following week. And then after that, things get a little bit more uncertain, but it looks to be we're going to continue to see more of an active trend going into the middle of the month of May. Just something to kind of be mindful of in terms of that. I will show you guys the rainfall totals just through the next 7 to 14 days here to give you guys an idea of how much rain we're going to see through this time period here. And like I said, pretty decent amount of rainfall. The southeast is going to be mainly the areas that we watch for about 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, maybe 1 to 3, seeing some heavier rainfall up into the northeast here as well, Ohio Valley. So just going to be an interesting week for showers, thunderstorms, and severe weather going through this weekend, going into next week. So we'll keep you guys updated on that situation there. Once again, be weather aware, be mindful if you get severe weather warnings or you're put in a risk zone, know where to go, have alerts on your phones, have your radios charged up and ready to go. Like I said, guys, we'll be on standby for a live stream, and you may or may not see me today. It's all dependent on what happens today here and what happens tonight. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching. Be safe, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys in the next one.